Hey everybody. It is, I think it's Monday. I think it's the 22nd of February. And I think that we're here in the annex with our kittens. And I think I hear some cats causing some more disturbances outside, but we'll get to them in a minute. I think they're going to be okay for a few. This is Potato and Millet. And as you can see, Potato's wearing a very handsome checkered black and white collar. And Millet is not wearing a collar at all. They're both having a little nap, tired out after a big breakfast and a lot of play this morning. And we also have Rye, who is still playing. Rye is wearing a red collar, which is a little redundant because I think we can all tell who Rye is by the fact that he's got a completely different kind of marking. Rye, look up so we can see how pretty your red collar is, though. There we go. What do you think? Very pretty. So that's Rye and his beautiful red collar. Oh, look at those eyes. Wow, that is a beautiful photo. So that's our little Rye. Then if we look over here, we have Mom Cat Flower and Little Corn. So I picked Corn's cornflower blue colored collar because it would be very easy for everybody to remember. The cornflower blue is for corn. So there you have it. And then the only other one that you need to know, of course, is that Potato has the little checkerboard collar. Rye, you can already figure out that's very easy process of elimination. And then Millet so far doesn't have one, but when Millet's a little bigger and a little better, we'll probably get one on Millet as well, just for completeness' sake. And I see people already asking, why do you put collars on them? Well, there's good reasons for that, but the best reason, of course, is that it makes them easy to tell apart, and that's really, really important. It's important for a couple reasons. It's important for me. It makes my life just a little bit easier. I think you've heard in the last several close-ups, I've been like, "Oh, that's potato. No, that's corn." It's hard to tell them apart at a glance, and it's helpful to have the collars. That I don't have to make those mistakes or be confused for a minute while I try to figure it out. But it's far more important for you. As you know, the whole reason that we do this streaming is to help get these kittens adopted. And it's much, much easier and better for an adopter to know which kitten is the right kitten for them if they can tell which kitten is which in the first place. If you can't tell which kitten is which, adopting the right kitten makes it's much more difficult to start to associate their personalities. You watch the stream and they do something and you're never sure if which kitten it is. It makes it hard to know which kitten to adopt, right? And that's really why we do the live streaming so much is because one of the reasons we started all this is that, or I should say, one of the reasons that we continue to do this is before we did the live streaming and got the kittens adopted after being live streamed, we would have to take them to a pet store and they would get adopted by people who just met them that very minute and wanted to take them home. And I don't know. Getting kittens adopted is great. And, if that works for people, that's wonderful. But for us, we wanted people to be adopting kittens after they got to know them a little bit more. And this is one way to make sure that that happens. You can watch your kittens for 3 months, from the time they're born until the time that you get to come and pick them up to adopt them. And the collars, for kittens that look so similar to each other, the collars make that process possible for people. So it's important. So that's why we do it. It's all part of getting these kittens to the best adopters and the best homes. That's what we're all about. So that said, even these small, tiny collars that were custom made by someone, the underscore kitten on our Discord server, sent us a giant box of these custom made kitten collars because Even collars that you can buy from pet stores that are made for kittens are way too big for these kittens. I don't think you realize how tiny these kittens really are. But the collars that you can buy in pet stores might fit a 4 or 5 month old kitten pretty well, maybe even a 3 month old kitten, maybe. But these guys yesterday, are 5 weeks old, and those collars don't stand a chance. We used to use them. There's some really funny pictures on our Discord server. For instance, I think it's Marino from Velvet's class that is famously seen wearing the collar around its waist like a sash, or I should say over its shoulder and around its waist like a sash, because it was just too big. You couldn't keep it on the neck at all. And it's wonderful that D_Kitten has sent us a lifetime supply of actual tiny little kitten-sized kitten collars for classes like this. So that is that's I guess the deal. And some of you might have already seen yesterday. I put the collars on yesterday, and when I first put them on, I had a white collar on Potato, and I had a darker blue collar on Corn. But I decided to switch it up for two reasons. Corn's was too hard to make out on the regular stream because there wasn't enough contrast between the dark blue and Corn. And then this one I switched out because when the night vision comes on, you can't see color. So we needed something with a little bit of a pattern that hopefully will be more visible in the night vision. And you can then at least tell, you can say that was Potato, therefore that one is Corn, the one with no collar is Millet, and the one that you don't need a collar to tell is Rye. So just the one collar that's discernible in night vision should allow you to tell who's who if you're clever about it. So that's the plan. In other news, you guys know that over the weekend, all of the fancy feasters except for Mac now have gone home to their adopters, and we've gotten updates from the adopters as they're on the road. Now, I think Truffle and Caviar rather, who got adopted together, I think they're still on the road. I haven't heard that they've made it all the way home yet, but we did get updates from their hotel last night, and they were very cute updates. And they're doing just great. So that's wonderful to know. And we got updates and a photo of Saffron already too. Saffron in her new home, which is good because I know yesterday I was a little concerned that Saffron's adopters' preference for film photography meant that we might not get very many pictures of her and they might come very late. But apparently they'll do some digital photography too, because there's a beautiful picture of Saffron in her new home, looking very pleased with herself. So that's all good. And I'm happy to report that Saffron and Truffle and Caviar are all doing well. Speaking of doing well, Millet this morning. So Millet licked the fancy feast food just once, just licked it once, and I was so like, oh, that's huge progress that Millet would actually lick food, and swallowed the little bit that I put inside his mouth. So that was also a little progress, but really got resistant after that first swallow and then that first little lick, and wasn't going to participate anymore in that. Then this morning, it was a little bit more of the same. I put some food in Millet's mouth, and Millet ate it, and then went and actually had a few licks of the regular food, and even a two little teeny tiny bites of the fancy feast food before Millet decided that was too much work and would rather just be tube fed this morning. So that's what we did. But I'm hopeful that Millet is starting to come around to the idea of eating, and maybe in a few more days we'll actually be eating full meals, which would be nice for Millet and would be nice for me. And we may not have to tube feed quite so much. And in all fairness, Millet's, we've had other kittens that have taken this long to switch from nursing to regular food too. So Millet's not behind in any sense. It just seems to me like I'm more anxious to get Millet switched over because obviously I'm the one responsible for feeding him all the time instead of his mom doing it. So that's where we are. uh, making progress, and it makes me hopeful. And because Millet seems a little more willing to lick food than to chomp food, either later today or tomorrow morning when he's hungriest in the morning, I will bring in some food that's a little more liquidy than the fancy feast and see if we can get Millet to eat a whole bunch more that way. We'll see. So that's the plan for now. Potato appears to be having some kind of dream. Little twitchies. I'm hesitant to move because these guys are in my lap, but I want to show you the other kittens. So we should do that. Anyway, I think they're pretty well asleep. I'm gonna have to get up at some point too. Let's first scooch over by Rye, and maybe we can add them to the little sleeping bed over there that Rye is in. Oh, oh, I know. Scooch, scooch. Here we go. Okay. All right. I just sank further into my lap while I was trying to do that. So here is Rye, who's decided to go over and have a nap now. Can't even see his red collar, but it's there. See, there it is. Okay. Hidden behind the floof. Not that you need it. Let's see Rye for just a second before I give him company. So I think you guys can tell that Rye has this sort of semi-classic tabby pattern. If you look up a classic tabby online, it's big, bold swirls, basically. His aren't quite as swirly as some, so you won't see the pattern completely, but you get the idea. As opposed to these guys who are mackerel tabbies, they have these little thin stripes like a zebra. That's a mackerel tabby thing, or like a mackerel, I guess, which is why they call them that. So anybody that's coming in late and asking about the collars and who's got which color or why we do collars or suggesting that we shouldn't, go back and listen to the beginning. I explained it all, and yeah, it's on you at this point. Okay, these two I'm going to add to the pile with Rye because I do have to get up eventually. Okay, hi potato. Look at that little sleepy potato. He is so tired. Yeah, what a big morning for a little potato. Okay, right here, buddy. too. Hey, little buddy. They're all boys. All four of the little kittens are boys. Here we go. Hi, Millet. I thought I'd turn you around so everybody could see how pretty you are on your way to the bed with everybody else. There we go. Okay, right over here. There we go. Make yourself comfy. And Flower got up and moved while we were doing all that because she wants to be closer to the kids, I guess. And therefore, whoops, I got to shuffle some things over here. Hang on. Look at Flower's beautiful eyes while I do. Move things around. White balance is a little off, though. Okay. And Corn is still sleeping where Mom was a minute ago. Doesn't realize that Mom has left him here sleeping in the middle of the floor like a homeless kitten. Hey, buddy. So as you see, Corn has the cornflower blue colored collar. Easy to remember. Hey, bud. Oh, a wink for us. Very nice. Okay. All right, here we go. Right on over into the cuddle puddle with everybody else, all right? Good job, Corn. All right, well, they're obviously going to continue the nap. So we should go see some other cats and kittens around the academy, see what else I have to update you on. But just to go over it one more time, Corn has the cornflower blue colored collar. Millet has no collar. This is Potato with his new little checkered black and white collar. That's Potato. In the back we have Rye, little Red Rider. So there you go. Probably easy to remember. Definitely much easier to tell them apart now. And therefore it will be easier for all of us to get a little bit of better handle on who has which behaviors. Okay. I'm going to leave these kids here. I know that the regular Kitten Academy live stream, you will be able to watch these kittens all day long. But I also know that right now the cameras on the regular Kitten Academy live stream are pointed to where my lap has been. And therefore, you won't be able to see the kittens right this minute. But as soon as I'm done with the close-up, I will adjust their position, and you will be able to watch these kittens all day on the Kitten Academy live stream. But for now, let's get up. And I have to take, well, I guess I don't have to take it with me. Take a risk here. I'm going to leave all this stuff here and I'll come back afterwards to pick it up. Okay, head on out. I saw somebody the other day ask why they don't see me using the hand sanitizer anymore. And it's a good question. The reason you don't see me doing it is because we always start the stream in there with the kittens because I've just washed up to go in there. And I do a full wash to make sure we don't bring anything into the kittens. But coming back out, I'm not concerned. The kittens don't have anything that we could pass on to the rest of the faculty or the other kittens. So coming out, I'm not worried. It's just going in I'm concerned, and that's why we always start in there lately. Not just use the hand sanitizer, but do a full scrub. Here's little Smokey in her bed. And I'm going this way because I'm pretty sure, there's Eddie, by the way, back there. I'm pretty sure we're going to find Rumor in the master bedroom. Rumor, I think she's overstressed her sutures a little bit. She has been cleaning them and messing with them a little too much. I was wrong too. She's not in here. I thought she'd be in her favorite pod, which almost certainly is going to go home with her and her adopter. She loves to be in the pod. But she's not there right now, so we're going to go downstairs and look for her. Hopefully. Um, but right after, let's see Myth, since we know where Myth is. Myth is in her room, somewhere in her room. There she is. She's in the silly little cat scratcher that I've always loved. I say it's silly because I think whoever designed this meant for this to be like a tail on the back end of the cat. You can see there's a little ears on that end and this, but it doesn't look like a tail to me because it's hanging in just the right spot to be something else. So I've always found that to be an amusing bed. Anyway, that's one of the places that Myth likes to hang out in her room, and you can hear, I'll be quiet in a minute, you can hear she's already purring. She came right out to see us. That's nice. I think she's feeling pretty good right now. She got her tail right up. Yeah, JKH. Yeah, so Myth has been losing a little weight, which is good. She was, I mean, she got sent to us because everybody thought she was pregnant because she was so round. And we've been treating her for worms as well as, which we know she had because at one point she vomited up some worms. And not just treating her for the worms, but also keeping her on a little bit more of a diet. And then, of course, we removed some of her organs. she she had her spay, so that also does contribute to weight loss. Mom cats always come back looking much skinnier after their spay. So all that's contributing, and I've noticed on the weight chart that she's gone down about a pound since she got here, which is good. She's got actually a very good weight right now, and if she wanted to lose a little more, she might be okay with that. But she's kind of a broad beamed cat in the first place. Like she's got a very broad head. I think she's just kind of a wide cat, so she might always be just a little bit more wide. But she's looking very good right now. And she's just, oh, she's so sweet. Such a sweet, sweet kitty. There we go. And we've been opening the door to give her a chance to come out and run around every day for a little while. So far, since her spay, she hasn't really wanted to leave her room again, which is okay. And then last night there was an incident. I have to put Maggie away when we open the door because I know now from experience that if Maggie and Myth meet, Maggie will attack Myth, and not like in a bad way, but in a very aggressive, dominant way that's not good. And Myth responds very badly to it and runs away and hides, and it's not nice. So, when I'm going to have Myth's door open, I go put Maggie in a room somewhere with the door closed for the duration. And DJ's home now, and last night DJ didn't know about the problem and saw Maggie was locked in the kitten room downstairs and thought, oh, I got to let Maggie out. And of course, the very first thing that happened was Maggie came right upstairs and went after Myth. So, yeah. So, no, Maggie's not aggressive, and I don't think that she's actually being aggressive. I think it's more of sort of like a dominance thing because she's not going to hurt Myth, but she is very aggressive about what she's doing. And Myth is a very easily startled cat. So you take one cat that's trying to be aggressive and one cat that's trying to be startled, and it actually builds off of itself in a very negative way. Where Maggie's a little aggressive, and then Myth runs, and then that sets off Maggie even more because now she's got a target that's running, and that's fun for a cat, especially a cat like Maggie that likes to hunt. So then she's running after Myth even more, and that just, of course, spooks Myth more, and that the whole thing is a cycle that just goes downhill very fast and ends up in a bad spot. So that happened yesterday, and I was really afraid last night that Myth was going to have a big setback because of it, but she didn't. I stayed in here. I petted her. She started purring and being all snuggly right away. And as you can see right now, she's right back to her usual self. So not a big setback, but certainly something that we will not allow to happen again now that DJ knows. will be just fine. Oh, so much purring and snuggling. You are just such a big sweetheart. Oh my goodness, such a big sweetheart. I love this cat. She's so great. And by the way, this great cat still needs an adopter. Someone who can deal with the fact that she does startle easily. But as long as she's got a safe spot to go to where she doesn't have to be startled, she will do fine, I think, in any house. I think she'll even do fine in a multi-cat household, as long as you don't have a cat that's really sort of dominant, like Custard or Maggie. She gets along with everybody. Other cats like Eddie or Loganberry or a Rumor or Truffle when she was here. They can all come right in and hang out with her, and she's fine with it, as long as they're respectful and don't startle her. But Maggie's the one that doesn't work out for. So yeah, she does still need an adopter, and if you want to find out about how to adopt her, you just go to our website, kitten.academy. There's an application right there, and the applications go to the Danbury Animal Welfare Society here in Danbury, near Danbury, Connecticut, I should say. And they will hopefully will find somebody that's the right person for this lovely lady who will be ready to go home. As soon as this weekend, potentially, or any time after. I think I'm doing the math on that right. She just needs to have her sutures out before she's ready to go home. Everything else, we fixed her up. We're like house flippers over here. We brought her in. They said she was pregnant. She wasn't pregnant. We fixed up her teeth, and we had her spayed, and we fixed her worms, and we're trying to help out with her feeling a little more confident around other cats and around noises and things. And now she's worth so much more. And so we're going to just flip her. He says, of course, the real difference between us and house flippers are they get a cable show and they make money off of it. We don't do either of those things, but that's okay. We do have some lovely cats. All right, Myth, we're going to leave you here because I still got to find Rumor at least, and hopefully we find Macadamia Nut too while we're at it. Let's try. Let's check the... Oh, no, they can't be in the office. We closed Custard in there, so they're not going to be in there. Let's check downstairs. Sometimes they all like to hang out in the living room. Oh, here's Mac and Maggie. There's Maggie. Maggie's taken over the kitten room now because she can. And here's little Macadamia Nut. Macadamia Nut was staying with us for one extra week because he had the URI worst of all. And he's finally getting over it. Now he sneezed at me this morning, but look at how clear his eyes are and even his nose. He's looking so much better right now, and his fur feels nice. So he's doing really well. Whoa! He's doing really well. But he is going to live with three Smokies, three old lady cats, I guess. So his adopters wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to bring that URI back with him and give it to them. And of course, you can never guarantee something like that, but an extra week after he's not showing any symptoms, we should probably be perfectly fine. That's what I think. And he's going to have a good time. So that's Mac, and as I was saying, Maggie has always loved the kitten room. I think you guys know that. Whenever she gets the chance, she's in here, and she doesn't get the chance very often because it's usually occupied by mom cats that want nothing to do with her. In fact, of all of our faculty, Maggie's the one that gets along with mom cats the least. But she's had a good run of it. The last two mom cats have let her come in here to hang out any time that she wants, so she's really gotten used to being in this room. And that is definitely going to change with Flower. I don't see Flower letting any of the faculty around, especially not Maggie. So she's going to have to make the best of this room right now. Well, it's all hers. It's kind of the Maggie room at the moment. And I've already started to move some of the toys and things out of here so that we can get this room all cleaned up. And I'm probably going to do more of that today. Oh, by the way, the big cardboard snail toy it's a wonderful, sturdy, solid, excellent snail. I brought it out so that one of the adopters could take it with them, and none of them had room. So maybe Mac's adopter will end up taking it, but if Mac's adopter doesn't end up taking it, then we're just going to have a snail hanging out around the academy indefinitely, which is nice because Maggie also loves the snail, so that'll work out pretty well. Okay, so here's Rumor. We found her in the end. She's right where I would expect this. She likes to hang out here during the day because it's sunny and nice. She's wearing her secret agent suit. She's watching, I don't know, nothing out the window. A bunch of nothing out there. Snow. Um, so as I was saying, she has been, as I started saying, and we got to wrap this up because we're out of time, but Rumor, first off, has an approved adopter, and Dawes was going to send me the info on that so that I could get in touch with them and get the adoption date all scheduled and everything. Even though I think we know who they are on the Discord server, right? They had sort of outed themselves there before Dawes gave me the info. Um, Anyway, Rumor, since she got her spay, she came back, she was fine, but then she just spent too much time bothering her tummy, and she wasn't pulling the stitches out, but she did, I think, make it so that it was all kind of painful for her, and now she's feeling it a bit. So, she gets to wear the secret agent suit. The secret agent suit is so that she will stop playing with the stitches, and they'll have time to get completely healed up. And on top of that, I'm giving her a little bit of pain medicine every day when she needs it so that she can feel better. She still is a little growly when you bother her stomach, but as long as you don't go anywhere near her stomach, she's her usual wonderful, loving self. In fact, I just posted on our Twitter a bunch of pictures of her and Mac, who are just best friends. These two are best friends. I posted a whole bunch of pictures of them hanging out yesterday where Mac sleeps on top of her and snuggles up next to her. And they just spend a ton of time snuggled up together being super cute. But then if Mac accidentally touches her belly lately, which he's used to just being able to do all the time, she gets hissy and hits him and tells him to back off, which might be a little bit confusing to him, but that's okay. He doesn't seem bothered. She's very good at communicating, actually, in that sort of cat language, and Mac is very good at understanding that cat language, which I think bodes well for him going to live with some old lady cats, because if they tell him to back off, he's likely to listen to that, and that's good. That's a good communication. You know, it's good to expect at least that he's going to respect that communication. Again, you can never guarantee these things, but I've got some real good feelings about that for little Mac. So they get along great. And Mac is just, Rumor is excellent at communicating, and Mac is a good listener. So they both do very well that way. Also, they both came and snuggled up with me this morning. They spent a lot of time snuggled up with me, even Rumor still, even though she's not feeling her best. She's still so loving and snuggly and just wonderful. So it's good to know that that's like just really a fundamental part of her personality, even when she's not feeling her best. Of course, she does tell you when she's not feeling her best. And like I said, she's a great communicator, even with people. If I start bothering her stomach, which I'm not going to do just for the purposes of illustration, because I don't want her to feel anything, but if I do bother her, then she'll hiss and growl at me, and if I keep doing it, she'll even swat at me or put her teeth on me. I would say bite, but it's not like a bite that's intended to cause harm. You guys know how it is. Lots of cats that communicate that way will give you a little bit of a warning where they sort of just grab you with their teeth, but they don't really put any pressure on. So she'll go that far. And goodness knows I wouldn't push it any further than that, but I don't think she would ever actually hurt somebody. But she sure knows how to tell you guys. She knows how to tell somebody to back off. So it hurts when you see a kitty that's this sweet and will growl at you. You're like, oh, you feel almost offended, like rejected. It makes it like a rejection, but it's easy to know that she doesn't mean it that way. She just means, back off, buddy. I'm not feeling great. But she's still friends, so yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, there you go. We're going on way too long, 35 minutes. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the little sleepy kittens at the front of the stream, and if you want to go back and watch those, I hope you do. I also explain a little bit about why we put collars on the kittens, which we have done. So if you want to know why, go back and watch the beginning of the video. It is important. I know there's a lot of people that have mixed feelings about whether that should be done as a general thing or not, but in this case, it's extremely important and justified. And as you can see, we don't do it unless we have a good reason. If you can tell the kittens apart, we're not going to do it. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everybody. Two things I want to end with, which is one is check out the Kitten Academy live stream to watch the kittens, and that's here on YouTube. You can just search for Kitten Academy live stream, and check out our website, which is kitten.academy. Not only does it have links to the live stream, it's got wonderful pictures of these guys on it. It's got pictures of the kittens upstairs, and it has the adoption application for Myth on it. Big deal for everybody. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and I will see you all later.